back. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is endurance, V02 Max, and how your body responds by improving. And I think that this topic is so important to understand because that's kind of the whole point of working out, and it's kind of the whole point of workout plans and personal training is how your body gets better. And I think that this is actually a really easy concept to understand, but people overlook it so often. So today I'm going to talk about my favorite topic because, I'm a distance runner and I love, learning about endurance and that stuff. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so the first concept that I think is important in understanding is VO2 max. And what VO2 max is, it's the standard way of measuring endurance in the kinesiology and exercise science world. And what that means is it's your maximum amount of oxygen that your body can process through your respiratory system before it runs out. And what that point is called is your lactate threshold, and that's basically the point when you feel like you're dying. I've actually done a VO2 test before, and it is not fun when you feel like you're at your lactate threshold. It's just a really terrible feeling, especially when you have that huge mask on your head. Okay. Hope you all never get a chance to do that. So what this means is that, those with higher VO2 maxes are more efficient at using their oxygen when cycling through the cardiorespiratory system. So when you're exercising and your heart rate's up and you're pushing your limits, you're getting towards that lactate threshold and your muscle cells are being destroyed and depleting their energy sources. Your glycogen is being used up, your oxygen is being used up, all these things are being used up, and basically that's what's causing all the hurting and the pain. Concept number 2 that I think that you need to know is homeostasis. And a lot of you know about homeostasis, but if you don't, I'll just give you a quick definition. So homeostasis is your body's natural mechanism of responding to stressors in order to survive. So a classic textbook biology high school example that I could think of is body temperature. So when you're getting too hot, obviously that's not good because if you're too hot, you're going to die. Your hypothalamus, which is a gland in your brain, responds to that by releasing sweat on your skin in order to lower that temperature back down to equilibrium, which is 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So now to connect the 3 ideas that we just talked about, which are VO2 max, lactate threshold, and homeostasis, your VO2 max, which is your endurance, increases through the homeostatic response to the challenge lactate threshold. So when you're at your lactate threshold and your muscle cells are being damaged, your body is responding through homeostasis to rebuild what is lost. And not just rebuilding it to make it equal again, but rebuilding it even more than what was there before to counteract the overbearing stress in order to better prepare the body for future stressors of the same type. So one of the main ways your body does this is through constructing the proper type of muscle fiber. So in my previous video, I talked about different types of muscle fibers, type 1 versus type 2. Type 1 is aerobic, type 2 is anaerobic. So let's say that you're training for a marathon and you're doing all these distance runs and you're using your aerobic type 1 fibers. So your homeostatic response to that would be to build more of type 1 fibers rather than type 2 fibers because, you're going to need more type 1 fibers to complete that training that you're doing. Other main ways your body does this is through increasing the size and or number of mitochondria in the muscle cells. And your mitochondria are the main storage sites for oxygen inside your cells. And that connects back to the point about VO2 max, because if you have more oxygen through an increased size, space, or increased number, then your VO2 max is going to go up. And the 2 other ways that your muscles adapt is through increased capillarity and blood flow capacity. Putting it all together, one of your main goals of training is to increase your VO2 max to cause those muscle adaptations. Because those with a higher VO2 max have a higher endurance because of these muscle adaptations. Wow, oh my gosh, it all makes so much sense. Okay. So yeah, I really wish that I knew this when I ran cross country because just the whole, when I was on cross country, we did CTs, which were, short, not as intense runs. And then we alternated those with days of what were called PPMs, where we would challenge the lactate threshold. And that's to allow your body time to rebuild so that you can have these muscle adaptations to keep improving. And now it just makes so much sense to me. So thank you, cross country coach, if you're watching this. Alrighty, so that's the end of this video, and I hope that you learned something. As always, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to message me or leave a comment below. Alright, bye.